Hello, Divine Ones. Very excited for this Q&A. Oh, this is going to be juicy. I'm just going to wait for a few people to show up before I dive in. I've got one last tea bag of my favorite chai tea with the quote, your great happiness is based on the warmth of your heart. Oh, isn't that sweet? All right, rock stars, waiting for you to come on. Hello, Femi, how are you? Welcome to my Q&A. Great to be back in the hot seat. It's been a little too long since I've been here with you. So very, very, very excited. Now, you girls are going to be joining in with today's Q&A. I want to hear from you, okay? Because that's what actually makes these Q&As so powerful. Not just me talking, hey, gorgeous Erin, but you really sharing what's on your heart and where you're struggling. So while you have me live, I can actually speak into that. All right, so welcome to those of you I can't see. Only good vibes. Welcome. All right, let's dive on in. So I'm literally going to read what I posted that this Q&A is about. So you've had just one too many bad relationships, and now the thought of letting someone get close enough to you to actually love you is absolutely terrifying, right? So before I even go on with the rest of what this Q&A is about, I want to hear from you what actually scares you the most about letting love in. Because if it didn't scare you, then you would have no issue with receiving it, right? But we've got to actually be in alignment with what it is that we're calling in. It's got to feel attainable. We've got to believe it. So I'd love to hear in the comments, what is the number one thing that terrifies you about opening yourself up to love? Obviously rejection, I'll put it out there, but I'd love to see in the comments, what is this big fear that you're sitting on right now? What is it that might happen if you actually bring all of yourself in? And you're all in. How does that scare you? What is your number one fear? I am not going to move on until I start hearing from you, all right? Because this Q&A is for you. I can speak to what my fears were, and I will do that, but I would love to see, unless I just can't see the comments on today's live for some reason, let me know if you did comment, because I can't see any comments right now. What is your biggest fear about letting love in? What is it? Normally there's not this shyness, so I don't know if it's on my iPhone. So what I'm going to do is help you out a little bit, and I'll speak to the top 5 fears. All right. So we have so many women from around the world coming to work with us who come, even on the calls, they're terrified of even just opening their heart. And that's to me, to my team, which we're all women. And there is this real guarded energy of like total lack of trust that they can actually solve this. So top fear is, okay, if I put myself out there and I'm all in, then I am going to be rejected. Okay. That is the number one fear, that the man is not going to get you. He's not going to like the real you, right? So this is why many of you are out there dating, trying to fit into what the guy wants, trying to be this version of yourself that you think that you need to be, like a good girlfriend, not being too high maintenance, not asking for too much, not being too fussy, right? Just go with the flow, girl next door, okay? Because you're afraid to be who you really are. So another huge fear is that you're going to be abandoned, that you let this man in, open up your heart, and then just as you start to really share what's on your heart, he's going to leave. He's going to be like, you know what, this girl's too deep. I don't know if I can be in a relationship like this. So there's major fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of not being enough, like fear of not actually being good at love. You know, you've got this deep down fear of, well, I don't even know what a loving relationship is. I've never been in love before, Lucy. We have so many women that say, I don't know what a soulmate relationship is. I don't know who I'm meant to be. I don't know how to be vulnerable. I don't know how to take up space in the bedroom. It's like this whole area of your life that you just feel like a complete amateur in, right? Want to get some interaction from you? This is like, I'm not getting any just show me that you're here. Like, just give me some likes, give me some love, give me some comments, because this is really about you. Kate Lindsay, darling, could you put a comment? I want to see if the comments are working or if I just have a very quiet audience today. And that's Abella crying. So that's not so quiet. So going back to that, we've had her, she's teething. So she's been literally crying for 24 hours. So there hasn't been much sleep in this household. But that's really the number one fear, is you don't know how to be yourself the way that you do with your friends when it comes to your relationships. You're like, I can be myself, I can be authentic and vulnerable with my girlfriends, but oh my God, when it comes to the guy, forget about it. That's like off limits. So what's actually going on is it's like you've got this split personality and you suddenly go into this like dating persona of who you think you should be, and it's not working out for you, is it? So that's the first thing you want to admit to yourself is, okay, I'm not actually feeling free with my self-expression. I'm not at home in my skin and being all of the woman that I was born to be. This is the first inauthenticity. This is the first furball you've got to cough up. And this is where you need to do the work to actually focus on what's so magical about you. Who do you want to be in a relationship? What would feel amazing to just, be who you are, to ask for what you want. Oh, you're leaving me comments. Thank you, Shireen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is so annoying. Thank you, Shireen. Shireen's like, we're leaving you comments. You can't see them. I can't see any comments. I didn't think people were that quiet. I was like, normally people are, yeah, okay, that's a bummer. Oh, so sorry that you're writing comments and I can't see them. I'll obviously be able to come back to the comments after the Q&A. Shireen, if you want to just capture them and chuck it in a messenger for me, I'm happy to do it that way. But at the end of the day, enable comments on my end. Okay, let me take a moment to do that, because normally they are enabled. So I don't even know what that means to enable comments. Let's have a, no, that's going to, oh, you can do it, can you? That'd be awesome. Thanks, Shireen. Okay, yeah, I don't know how to do it at my end. Anyway, so I'm going to continue reading what this is about. Well, first of all, I want you to know that I have 100% wants to be in my video. Okay, no, that's not what we're doing though. It's just about enabling comments, not bringing people on. I want you to know that I've been where you're standing, and it's really fucking exhausting being anyone other than yourself in a relationship. It's really exhausting stifling your truth, holding back how you really feel, giving your power away to the man. Like, oh, well, I can't initiate anything. I always felt like I've got to wait till the guy texts me. What? I'm doing a live. I'm doing a live, a Q&A. I'm doing a live Q&A. My husband's yelling at me because my daughter's crying. This is a hot mess, this Q&A. Anyway, okay. This is frustrating for me. Do you know what I'm going to do? Okay, great. Now I can see the freaking comments. Okay, great. Yeah, so excuse me yelling at my husband through the wall. So I've been getting distracted, but I'm still here with you. I'm running on about 1 hour's sleep, so I'm doing pretty well. All right. Yeah, it's basically crippling you to be anything other than yourself. You've got to get honest. Like, however old you are right now, you've got to get honest to go, fuck, this has been going on for the whole history of my dating life. Clearly something that I'm doing right now ain't it. It's not working, right? Being anyone other than yourself is a waste of time. It's a waste of energy, and it's never going to get you the kind of relationship that you desire. Why? Because there's no one else that's like you. There's no one else that expresses themselves the way that they do, that feels the way that you do, that sees life through the lens that you do, that has the heart that you do. And so what this is about, the focus of this conversation is about, until it's about you, it's never going to be about you. Until you honestly make yourself a priority, which I talk about a lot, and do the work to heal these fears, to heal these abandonment issues, to heal your not enoughness, to heal the lack of your deservability, to heal this fucking apologetic you. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to be too much. I don't want to be too this. I don't want to be too deep. Like, that needs to fuck right off, because it's not who you are. and you're living in a split personality. And no one wants to date someone with a personality disorder. It's essentially that, right? It's about you going, fuck, I'm awesome. And I want to be even more awesome. I want to be all of me in a relationship. I want to be sexually expressed. I want to be able to tell a guy, hey, that doesn't feel good. Like, actually try this. So in order to be able to be that self-expressed, you've got to know yourself. You've got to know what turns you on. You've got to know what you want from a relationship, and you've got to know yourself, and you've got to be loving on all those parts of yourself that you have been rejecting, where you carry shame, where you carry resentment, where you carry anger. All these parts of you are taking all of your energy to hold that shit down, to hold the shame down. It's like you're carrying backpacks full of rocks through your life. And yet you're out there dating, being like, hey, pick me. I've got like 65 backpacks of rocks, like no big deal. So of course you're not bringing yourself in because you don't want the guy to see all your backpacks. And that's what's hindering you. It's about unpacking all the shit that's in those backpacks and working through it and dissolving it once and for all so that you can feel free to show up as you are in a relationship. Doesn't that feel amazing right now if you just bask in the energy of what it would be like to be free, to be fully you, to be self-expressed, to not give a fuck whether they're going to actually receive you or not. If the guy or the girl doesn't love you for you, then they're not your fucking person. Next. That's the abundant mindset. So for as long as you are talking about love, oh, I'm just not good at love. It's the pandemic. There are no good men left. Love never works out for me. I'm just not good at communicating. I'm really bad at being vulnerable. I only have sex with the lights off. In fact, I've never even had a real orgasm. You know, if you keep talking about love negatively, you just keep throwing shit at your wall of love. That's what it is. You've got this wall of love full of possibilities and you're like, nah, and you just keep slinging this shit at the wall. What do you think's happening for you? You keep getting more shit. Okay? So I'm keeping it really simple for you because it is simple. Attracting in a soulmate is actually easy. I want you to really hear that and tattoo that on your vagina. Attracting a soulmate relationship is easy. Once you get that, you have to get yourself sorted out. It's easy. It's an energy. It's literally when you know what you want, when you're clear on what you're calling in, when you're clear on your value and your deservability, and you fucking love yourself and you're proud of who you are and you let your light shine, the world is your oyster. This is bigger than just a soulmate relationship. This is about you saying a hell's yes to you and going, I'm going to just be me. How about that? What else do you think is going to happen? Pay rises, promotions, awesome opportunities. This shit happens all the time once people hit the soul to soul vortex. They're like, I came in wanting to attract my soulmate and I'm getting my life. We've had women heal bulimia. We've had women up-level their shithouse money story and go on to attract in abundance. All the time I've had people heal freaking really bad colon issues, migraines, sleeping disorders, depression, anxiety, because all of that speaks to the fact that you are emotionally shut down. You are blocking the flow within yourself. And it's like you're doing a big shit on yourself every day because you're not facing yourself. You're not taking care of yourself. And then you're like out there in the world trying to attract in love from this really constricted, contracted place. Can you see why it's not working for you? You've got a shitty story about love. You've got a shitty story that you tell about yourself. You got to flip the fucking script, sister. If you want to attract in your soulmate, you can do that. I'm living proof of that because for 10 years I attracted in drop kicks. And then I went, oh, that's because I'm speaking really negatively about it. And that's because I haven't actually done the deep work. I've just been making some vision boards and doing some affirmations. I've been in deep avoidance of facing myself, of facing my truth, of healing my fucking wounds. I went, game on. Let's do this. What do you think happened? Everything. I have never felt more empowered and liberated in my entire life. Once I chose me and chose to step up, I have not looked back. And that is what is possible for you in any given moment that you choose, because women who are going to put their crown on and be the queen that they are, they run towards support. Little girls run away. I want to sabotage this. I don't deserve the support. I don't really want my soulmate. I want to keep complaining about my life. Love's not safe. It's never going to work out anyway. What's the point? Ring a bell? You keep putting shit in your way and wondering why. Nothing's changing. But it's simple. It's really, really simple. Powerful women get support. They're like, fuck yes. Get me the fast path. No more of tolerating these bullshit relationships. No more of you tolerating these bullshit conversations from yourself, putting yourself down, putting yourself in a box. I'm not good at love. I'm not this. I'm not that. Would you stop? Enough. You're doing it to yourself, sister. You got to become your own fucking cheerleader and be on team you. Because once you've got your own back and once you come home to yourself and you turn on your magic and you turn that fucking up, there is no soulmate that you can't have. But you got to be in full resonance of your gifts. You got to be in full resonance of what it is that you have to offer. You got to really fucking love on yourself. That is all that your job is. And most of you in here are not doing that. You're looking for love in all the wrong places and you're already selling out saying, it's hard, I've missed out, maybe it's just not for me. And it's a fucking cop-out. And I'm not letting you off the hook because you're in my community. And for as long as you're going to be in my community, I am going to call you always to your highest. I'm going to hold you to your highest. I'm going to call your queen forward and I'm going to call you out on your BS. Just like I wish I had someone doing for me all those years ago. I wish I had that. Fuck. Oh my God. Instead, I had people placating me and saying, oh, you're a good catch. It'll happen. Da, da, da. It was all this fucking fluff. Didn't change a thing. And I'm just meanwhile swigging back on a couple of champagnes with nothing changing except for the date. So this live really is to remind you and to presence you to how powerful you are, how lovable you are. The deservability is inside of you right now. It's just not activated because you've been too busy living in victimhood and all of your reasons and all of your excuses that you have in like this tight little script that you share as to why it won't work out for you. And I come back to the question of how is that serving you? How is that working out for you? Aren't you fucking done? Aren't you ready to tell a different story? I know that you are. That's why you're here. Being in a soulmate relationship is, like I always say, it's the thing I'm most proud of. It's the most tangible thing in my life. It's funny because people say, you know, love isn't tangible. Having a soulmate relationship isn't tangible. Having a house is tangible. I'm like, oh yeah? How's the house for you when you're on your deathbed? How's that working out? The only thing we care about when we're on our deathbed is, was I loved? Is there someone there loving me in my final moments? Can I look back on my life and say, yeah, I loved with all my heart? It is the highest currency and it is your birthright to be in a soulmate relationship. But the first person that you have to cultivate a soulmate relationship with is you. So to wrap this Q&A, and I'm so sorry I can't see the comments, I will come back to every single one of them. Let today be the day that you change your fucking outlook on relationships. Stop calling them hard. Stop fearing love. It's you doing that. The people that aren't fearing love, the people that are calling it in and saying, fuck yeah, and they're doing the work on themselves, they are sitting in a soulmate relationship right now. They got out of their way. They got done with their excuses. There is nothing to fear. For me, it's more scary not being in love. Love is a risk. Love is a total risk. But it's a risk worth taking. And I have gratitude every single day for my soulmate relationship. I don't take anything for granted because we're not promised tomorrow. And that's why I ask you, what are you doing with today? Don't just sail through 2021, watching my lives, sitting back, not taking action. Be my next fucking testimonial. Be the woman that got out of the depression, that got out of the scarcity, got out of, oh, I couldn't afford it. Yeah, you fucking can. Everyone can afford my program. Go get resourceful. Go fight for yourself. Any of my blueberries getting really fucking passionate right now. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to answer your beautiful comments. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear how this landed for you. I want to hear you sharing about how you're going to shift your story. What if you said, love is easy for me. Love is my birthright. I am soulmate material. This is the year that I'm going to attract him in. What if you start speaking like that to yourself every single day? Look in the mirror. I am soulmate material. Love is safe for me. Love is easy for me. I rock at love. I'm brilliant at love. Bless Shireen. I'm sending Lucy the comments if you want to ask questions. I'll take a... So basically, I can't go through all the comments that Shireen has sent through. It's too tricky to go between this and Messenger. But at the end of the day, this whole notion of feeling like you're too much and people can't handle you, I had that same belief and it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. I thought I was too spiritual. I thought I was too deep, too sensitive. I had all of the reasons. Too much of a free spirit. Too fucking big dreams. My dreams were too big. I was just like, I just don't fit into the type that people want in a soulmate. Like, I'm just not cookie cutter. Damn fucking straight, I'm not cookie cutter. Proud of it. Fuck cookie cutter. And yet, for so many years, I was trying to be the cookie cutter version of me, and it fucking failed. The reason I attracted in the love of my life was because I did the work to be the authentic version of me. Many of you think that you're authentic and you're saying that you're authentic and you couldn't be further from it. You don't speak up. The guy says, you want to get sushi? Meanwhile, you hate sushi. You're like, yeah, sure. And you're like, oh, I'll just order like a seaweed salad. Like, I won't have the sushi, but I'll just, fuck that. No, I don't like sushi. I'd actually love to go to a vegan restaurant. Thanks. Or I'd love to go and have a fucking tomahawk steak because I'm a steak girl. Yes, that's the self-expression we're talking about. And you don't just get that by watching a live with me. You got to go work on it. I have all sorts of women coming to me. Women that are numb as fuck. Women that have major money issues. Guess what? We enroll them all. We're like, sister, you want to change your life or keep beating this boring fucking drum? They're like, I want to change my life. I go, great. Go fight for yourself. Come back to us. And they do. And they get their life. This is not only changing lives, it's saving lives. And I say, when is it going to be your turn? When are you going to choose you and fight for you and step up and put a big fat stake in the ground and go, no fucking more suffering? Suffering is a choice. I know that triggers many of you. It triggers my clients. Suffering is a choice. You do not need to suffer for one more day. We always have a choice on how we respond, and you can sit there playing the victim that men are mean to you, they treat you badly. You are attracting that in, sister, from your vibration and your scarcity and your poverty consciousness. You have to admit that to yourself. I am responsible for what I attract in. So let's shift that and get you into your fucking queen with your crown on so that you can attract in your fucking king, because you are royalty. Good, Chris. It's great you don't lie about what you eat. But the amount of women that do, and not just that, oh yeah, that feels really good if a guy's going down on them and they're just sitting there fucking going through, what shall I order on Amazon right now? Because it's just the most boring non-event. You got to be able to speak your fucking truth. Otherwise, what are we doing on this planet? Royalty. That's who you are. So stop fucking around with the free programs and stop fucking around with like intellectually doing the work, getting sacred sisterhood, getting held as you go through a really, really deep process is the most potent way to up level your life. And we do it in 8 weeks. We're doing what therapy isn't doing in 15 years, FYI. That's why this is a high ticket program and not some $1,000 or $99 fucking offering, because I give a shit and I'm there in the program with you. This is not do it yourself, okay? So it's been awesome chatting with you. I'm so glad that this is hitting you straight in the heart. I am literally calling forth the badass queen that is living inside of you right now. She knows it's a no-brainer to get support. She can get resourceful with her fucking eyes closed. All right, so to stop spinning the bullshit that you're like, oh, I can't afford it. I don't know if this will work for me. That is going to keep you single. Take a fucking risk. Get out of your comfort zone. Go fight for yourself, all right? Because you deserve it. And I'm sending you big, big love. No more fearing love. Fucking bring it. Hey, bring it in. Bring it in. I love love. I love being in a soulmate relationship. Start speaking like that and watch your life change. Mwah. See you next week.